Watching Fox 45 in Baltimore. Now live from TV Hill, this is BMORE Lifestyle.
Hey, good afternoon, Baltimore. So glad to have you join us on our premiere day of BMORE Lifestyle right here on Fox 45. I'm Lady T, your host for today. In a few weeks, we're going to have Brandi Proctor back in the studio. We miss her so much, right where she belongs. We'll be talking to her later this half hour to find out what's been going on with her and to get a quick update. But first, I'm joined by meteorologist Jonathan Myers and our very own Tara Reeves and everyone's favorite Ravens fan, Captain Defense. Hey, you guys, how you guys doing?
I'm doing great.
Hey, so guys, let me tell you, was this the right way to start a winning season or what? The Ravens were looking great on Sunday. So Lamar Jackson completed 20 of his 25 passes for 275 yards and 3 touchdowns. The Ravens are now the first team in the NFL history to win 3 straight season openers by 30-plus points. Go ahead, y'all. 38-6 was the final score. So what does this mean? What does it all mean for the season? Tell me.
Well, for me, it's unlike last year. We might look forward. This is game 1. We're taking them one day at a time, and on to the Texans.
Ooh, okay. So you're ready for game 2 already. Okay.
Yes.
Jonathan, Tara, weigh in. Tell me, what do you think?
I'll tell you something. I mean, how much better can you start a season? I mean, in these crazy times when you don't have any fans in the stands and, we're used to playing with lots of noise and we're still, kicking it like what, 30 points over the opposing team? I mean, wow.
Right.
I think we got some bright times ahead. That's what I'm thinking.
I agree. Tara, tell me.
Well, like Jonathan was saying, crazy times right now, no fans in the stands. That's definitely where Baltimore gets some of its energy for the Ravens. But there's a reason Lamar Jackson is the MVP, and he really put on a show. I mean, scoring on their first possession, forcing a turnover defensively against Baker Mayfield on the opening drive. Ravens are looking pretty solid. I mean, they did well last year. Let's hope that this year, I don't want to say Super Bowl and jinx anything, but they look pretty stout.
I agree. If they keep playing like the Avengers out there, I see a championship in our sight, okay?
Yeah.
Now, moving on, let me tell you, new sales figures show CDs are out and vinyl is in. So record sales outpaced CD sales for the first half of the year, and that hasn't happened since the 1980s. Sales for old school format brought in about $230 million, almost double what CDs brought in, but streaming music is still #1. Tell me, vinyl is in? Like, when did this happen? I didn't know people were even still buying vinyl or CDs.
I could see that. It's got that nice warm sound, It's nice. I know, like vinyl enthusiasts are all like, oh yeah, it sounds better on vinyl. CDs just
What?
You just play frisbee with them.
Seriously?
Right. Well, I agree with Jonathan. I mean, you talk about COVID, all these live events are shut down. You can't really go. You listen to music for the experience. I think with vinyl, you sort of get that experience. There's that like popping noise. There is a warmth. You truly experience what the artist is trying to put out there for their listeners much more than even streaming or with a CD or back in the days, a cassette tape. There's just like an added warmth when you listen to a vinyl record that it's like, you connect with the artist. So I've actually been listening to a lot of vinyl records, just bought Justin Bieber's latest album, Intention, so I've been jamming to that.
What? This is impossible. I need Captain Defense. I need somebody on my side here, because when I think of vinyl, I'm thinking, baby, put on a record for me. I'm thinking like that. Captain Defense, come to my defense, please.
I might be the wrong person to talk to, because I was showing my grandson about VHS tapes, my cassette player in my car, and actual wooden speakers.
Ooh.
And I still got vinyl, and I still got an old turntable. So I'm kind of old school. I haven't moved forward yet. And my 1998 Contour, I got a cassette player in there that I still use.
Well, I guess
I'm a dinosaur.
I guess it's 3 versus 1 on this one. I guess I lost that battle, okay? Well, it's okay. Moving on. How about this? With virtual learning underway across Maryland, daycares are having to make big changes to adjust. In fact, at some daycares we talked to, they're dealing with multiple kindergartners, all going to schools and having to log on to individual computers for all-day lessons. Can you imagine like how hard that would be? Tell me, weigh in on this, these daycare virtual learning changes.
Well, it's difficult. My daughter's she's a kindergarten teacher in Seattle, and she's having a hard time, you know, because a lot of times, especially for the kindergarten, the parents have to be there, and I'm imagining it's the same thing in day school. But it's a whole new way of learning, and we have to adapt to it. And I commend the teachers who be able to handle this, especially with the little ones, the preschool and the kindergarten kids, whose attention span is not that long.
They're the ones to really thank for that. Quickly, Jonathan, Tara, weigh in really quick.
I got a kindergartner at home, and I mean, last year it was almost impossible. I can't even imagine having, like, you know, 20 some odd of those kids over at a daycare and trying to teach them all. I mean, as Captain Defense was saying, the attention span's just not there. I don't know if, you know, kindergartners, first graders are built for that type of learning. So, yeah, I don't know how they're doing it, but hats off.
Agreed. Tara, lastly, go ahead.
I agree, Captain Defense, Jonathan. It's the attention span. My friend, 5th grade teacher, some are in the classroom, some are learning virtually, and she's like, they're not as apt to try and ask questions. It's harder to get them engaged when it's online. No one knows the right answer. You want to keep them safe. You want to help them learn. So we're just kind of learning as we go.
Right. There's still lots to learn there. Well, we finally all agreed on something, and we told it. We finally all agreed, and, you know, so thank you guys so much for joining us today. Talk to you guys soon. Naomi Osaka wins big at the U.S. Open. The message she shared about her face masks worn over the period of the tournament. Also, there could be a link between COVID and obesity. A doctor explains how people who are overweight can protect themselves during the pandemic.
The following segment is sponsored by GBMC.
You're watching BMORE Lifestyle.
Welcome back, everybody. Now, is there a link between obesity and an increased risk of complications from COVID-19? A recent study finds that might be the case. Joining us live via Skype is Dr. Gustavo Bello, a bariatric surgeon with the GBMC Comprehensive Obesity Management Program. Welcome, doctor. Good to have you with us today. So can you talk about the big take-home messages here and what the results really mean?
Absolutely. So, you know, even though the link between obesity and COVID-19 is still a little controversial, and one can argue there isn't enough or there aren't enough systematic reviews about it, it should not come as a surprise that the data that is out there already shows that obesity is not just a factor or risk factor for COVID-19, but especially a big one, and especially when it comes to the severity of the disease. So let's not forget that the individual with obesity is associated with numerous underlying risk factors for COVID-19, such as diabetes, heart disease, hypertension, liver disease, kidney disease, among many others. And not just that, but obesity brings significant amount of metabolic disorders, and also it can produce a lot of biochemicals that promote significant amount of inflammation and blood clotting, which is one of the many ways on how the coronavirus actually does so much harm to patients. And on top of that, we have to know and understand that there is a physical component in obesity, where we know that the obese patient tends to be usually less active and has less pulmonary capacity and a lot more pulmonary dysfunction and sleep apnea, etc. That makes breathing already much harder as it is.
Okay, so tell me, what do you think the message is for people who are currently they're currently obese in their understanding of COVID-19? Explain that for me.
So I don't think there has been ever a more compelling time to actually improve our health, and a more compelling time to get rid of obesity. So obesity, as it is the root of many problems out there, and even in itself, it's a much bigger epidemic actually than what COVID-19 is. And we have to understand about obesity that it is not so much how much extra weight we carry, but most importantly is the amount of time we've been dealing with obesity. So there is this compounding effect of time in this disease that is unmeasurable. And I always said that, the earlier we can address the problem, the better, for sure.
Right. So how can we find out more information about this?
Obesity, well, obesity is a disease that is really hard to beat, okay? There aren't a whole lot of alternative out there besides diet, exercise. Luckily, surgery is one of those strategies to beat obesity that has proven to be, or to give some sustainable results in time. So it isn't easy. There's no good strategy to beat obesity, but ultimately with some dedication and determination, along with the help of bariatric surgery, there's definitely a way out of this.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Thank you, doctor, for all the great tips and all the info. We look forward to having you back again soon.
Hey.
We'll be right back, Baltimore.
This is BMORE Lifestyle.
Welcome back, Baltimore. Now, some of you may be wondering where our host, Brandi Proctor, is today. I am honored to be sitting in for her this week, but even more honored to welcome her into the show to let you know why she's not here. Hey, Brandi Boo, how you doing?
Hi, how are you?
Girl, I'm good, but I'm missing you. It's so good to see your face. So, Brandi, give us an update. How are you doing?
So I'm well, better than I thought that I would be. I had a preventive double mastectomy about a month ago, and I am recovering well. Not well enough because I'm not there with you today, but I'm coming along. I'm coming along really, really good. I'm blessed.
Good. Well, tell me, what caused you to make this decision to have the preventative surgery?
So for me, it was a long time coming. I mean, it's definitely a personal decision. But, my mother was diagnosed with breast cancer at 37. So, and I'm around that. So for me, it was a long time coming with some abnormal cells for years and years and years. Is something I've been dealing with since I was about 20 years old.
Wow.
So it was time. We had a lot of scares, a lot of negatives that were scary, and so it was a decision that we did not take lightly, we did not make lightly. Some of the people in the building know it's been years coming, but finally we did it. It's done.
Yes, it's done, and we're here cheering you on. So what are the next steps in your recovery?
Well, so there are things I didn't expect, like I'm having some dizzy spells and your arm movement's really limited. So I can do this, but even like opening a water bottle is a cheery thing. It's like, it's a victory because you really are not able to do those things. Going all the way up, getting dressed. You need help with some of those things. So that's humbling. So for me right now, I have expanders in. So they're tissue expanders, and we can get into all of the specifics of that a little later, but it will be another surgery to swap out the expanders for actual implants. So again, different people choose to do different things. Some people use their own fat. That was not an option for me. I didn't have that much fat actually, but
hey, keto.
But
go girl.
Yeah, it is a process, and we are moving along. And again, I'm blessed, no infection, knock on wood. So I'm good.
Okay, so thank you, Brandi. We truly appreciate you, and we are cheering you on. You are a strong, brave, courageous woman. Thank you so much. Now, I am going to send it over to Jonathan Myers, our meteorologist. Jonathan, give us a little weather update.
We're going to start off with the worst weather in America, and it doesn't look like the worst weather in America, but unfortunately, This taken yesterday, the calm of the storm sent to one of our sister stations and one of our esteemed meteorologists, James Spann, by someone named LM2312. This in Destin. Beautiful beaches here. Unfortunately, a lot of those are going to get racked in the next 24 hours. Let's go ahead and take a look at the main stories. What you need to know, record active tropics. For us, it's cold front and dry air, and the coolest since May and June coming our way over the next 24 to 36 hours. Sally, this is our main tropical concern. Could become Category 1 hurricane. You see how close it is to Pensacola and Destin. Going to put a lot of water in on shore here with 10 to 15, maybe 20 inches of rain all along the Alabama, Louisiana, Mississippi coastline. And on top of that, potentially could have some storm surge, some devastating and life-threatening storm surge, as well as some damaging winds. Then there's Paulette, passed right over Bermuda last night. The eye of the storm actually came right over Bermuda. Now it is moving its way into the open Atlantic. Could be a strong storm for the shipping lanes, though, as it could be a major hurricane there. Then there's Teddy, which was newly formed today. That becomes a tropical storm slash hurricane, Category 1, actually, maybe even a Category 3 by the time this weekend rolls around. And that could impact near Bermuda, but should stay away from the United States. So far, the only thing really affecting the U.S. is Sally. And then there is Vicky, which just became a tropical storm. That likely becomes a remnant low over the next several days. As for us, though, there is a cold front that continues to move southbound. There's showers over the lower Delmarva pushing away, so that's good news for us. Unfortunately, that's not going to help out the Gulf Coast, where the hurricane warnings are in effect. Our main story, beautiful weather next couple of days. Temperatures getting back into the 70s. Get outside, enjoy it. Maybe a trip to the park and walking the dog. And then as we head into tonight, look at those 40s north and west, some 50s here in the city. And as we work our way into tomorrow, highs maybe only around 70. Some of the coolest weather since late May. Just a couple of clouds today with high temperatures getting up to about 80 degrees here outside Penn Station. We'll go to 81. Enjoy that afternoon. 70 for Tuesday, 76 pleasant on Wednesday. Next chance of rain with a weather maker Thursday into Friday, and then beautiful for the weekend on our 10-day exclusive forecast all the way into early next week. Enjoy.
All right, now it's time for my favorite segment. It's time to spill the tea with me, Lady T. And Brandi Proctor is back with us. Hey, Brandi.
Hey, Lady T. This is what I live for. So, all right, give me the juice, girl.
Girl, I'm with it. I'm with it. So we got a lot to go over. Let's start with the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. So apparently we're getting a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reunion with the entire cast. I'm excited about this. Now, the entire cast, including the original Aunt Viv. Yes, that means that the original Aunt Viv and Will Smith actually squashed their beef, and she is going to join them for this this reunion. It's going to be produced by Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith with the help of HBO Max, so there's no entanglements. Just kidding. But it's coming soon, Brandi. I'm excited.
Please don't have them coming for the first day. All right, Lady T.
Yes, I'm sorry. Fresh Prince T, hold the entanglements, okay? So next up, let's talk, let me tell you, she is one of my favorite housewives, Giselle Bryant, from the Real Housewives of the Potomac. She turned 50 years old, and she looks good for 50. She celebrated with the cast of the show, social distance style. Look at her, but she's fabulous. Happy birthday, girl. So also, speaking of housewives, fans want Kris Jenner to be on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And they're saying, well, she runs in the same circles as most of the cast members. She's already got the reality TV experience. Even Caitlyn Jenner, her ex, also approves and says she can handle all them girls. So, you know, what do you think, Brandi? You think it's okay?
Yeah.
You think she should?
Things for forever. Absolutely. And the Kardashians now coming to an end, of course. She got to pick right back up.
And she has time for it now that, you know, Keeping Up with the Kardashians is ending after 20 seasons, you know. So she definitely has plenty of time at this point to do it. So moving on, let's talk Black Girl Magic. Naomi Osaka, she just won her second U.S. Open, and she wore several masks throughout the entire tournament with names of men and women who were victims of police brutality. So congrats to her. Did you see the win? Did you see, like, look at her. She's shining. I love it.
It is good to see the next generation. I was a little sad when I saw Serena go down.
Me too, girl. You know, we ride or die for Serena, so I was so... Yes. So, Brandi, thank you so much for spilling the tea with me today. We look forward to seeing you here once again very soon. Bye, my girl. Well, we had our chance to tell it, and now we want you to join in on the conversation. How you can do it, just ahead. All right, you've heard what we have to say. Now you tell it. How do you think the Ravens will do this year? Tomorrow, we'll tell you all about it and how you can take part of our conversation tomorrow. We're so excited. And we've got a great show lined up for tomorrow. There's a new morning radio show coming to Baltimore. Kramer and Jess will join us tomorrow to talk about what makes their show different from all the rest.
Find out how to have your business featured on BMORE Lifestyle. Email us at bmorelifestyletv@foxbaltimore.com.
Thank you, Baltimore, for joining us today. Till next time, remember to live, laugh, and love.